If you've been tasked with supporting, developing, revealing, or even just strengthening your employer brand, it might feel like you've been asked to nail some jello against the wall. Employer brand's one of those things that's poorly defined, poorly understood, poorly explained, that you don't always know where to start or what all the pieces might be. So I wanted to break the concept of employer brand into a kind of mathematical equation to help us both understand what the bigger picture is, but to also pinpoint where problems might be. So we start with a simple definition. What is an employer brand? And it's that simply what a lot of people individually perceive about what it would be like to work there based on all their experiences or touch points. Every time they read the news, every time they talk to a recruiter, every time they use your product, what are they getting as an experience? That builds an employer brand. And you can break that down into two pieces. One, the creation, and two, the management. Your employer brand is what it's like to work here, made digestible to everybody who wants to learn about it. We can break this down to a couple of pieces. Your employer brand is the gap between what you reward and what people are motivated by, their intrinsic motivation, what gets them out of bed in the morning. And that gap is looked at relative to their option, either the industry they're in or their choices of other competitors, other companies they could work for. And if you understand that, you can see that you create or reveal the employer brand by seeing it like a candidate sees it. That is, a candidate is choosing a company based on how well it will support what already drives them and based on their options of where they could go. The other half of the equation is managing or extending that employer brand. Now, there's a couple of pieces here to note. What is the perception of your company? What do you do? How do you do it? And why do you do it? Put another way, what's your industry? What's your culture? And what's your mission? Now, you add those together, and then you go to the other side and you look at what is the reach of your audience, how well aligned is your message, and how authentic is that message? What is the size of audience you can talk to? How well focused is that message? Are you trying to be all things to all people? And how credible is that message? Are you being incredibly aspirational, or are you being really authentic about what you're doing? It's important to note that if any one of these ideas is effectively zero, you have one of those multiplication issues where if one piece is zero, it all nets out to zero. Which means if you have a reach problem, or you have an authenticity problem, or you've got a culture problem, it impacts the entire employer brand. But once we look at the entire picture, once we see all the different components, it becomes a lot clearer where your individual problems might be. Do you have a problem with what you reward? Do you have a problem with your culture or your mission? Is the issue that your message isn't well focused or that your audience is too small? Once you understand this big mathematical equation, you can start to figure out where you should focus your efforts. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, I do this sort of thing about every week on the TalentCast podcast, available anywhere you get podcasts. Or you can learn more about me and my work at employerbrand.consulting or jamesellis.us. Thanks.